And welcome back to another Pick'em section here with Ben, Jack, and Mike, better known as BJM. We are ready to roll right along into week 8. Can you believe that, gentlemen? It is week 8. How you guys doing today, man?
It's moving fast.
Yeah, doing good, and like you say, it is definitely moving fast.
Okay, with that being said, Brother Jack, if you would bring us up to speed on the count, please, and we can move right along.
All right, so we're going into week 8, like we just mentioned, and the current HBCU pick total, we have Dr. Prince continue with the lead since day one, 39 correct picks. I moved in from last place to second place, took my rightful position majority of the season at 36 picks. And then we have Ben slipping back down to last place with 35 picks.
Okay, it's tightening up a little bit. Okay, what you got to say about this, Ben?
No comment.
No comment. He got his game face on, Jack. Well, here we go. You ready for your picks, sir? Let us get through these games.
All right, let's go to the Week 8 HBCU pick games. So our first matchup, we have Texas Southern at Alcorn. I think this is going to be a nice little battle here. Alcorn just came up a little short against Southern, and so I'm going to take Texas Southern to upset Alcorn 24-21.
Well, look at you, Jack. That was going to be my pick of the week. I believe Texas Southern got something for them. The momentum and the temperature's just right. I'm picking Texas Southern to win this one on the road, and I'm going somewhat in that same neighborhood, 24-17, Texas Southern on top.
Good. I'm going to stick with that corn. I got them winning 28-14.
Okay.
All right. So our next matchup, we have Campbell at Jackson State. Jackson State, they have motivation, and they have the T-shirts of "I am SWAC," and if I'm not SWAC, who is SWAC? So they, riding high right now. But I think Campbell's going to come in and shock them, 34-31.
Interesting. If Jackson were to lose this season, this would be the game, but I don't think so. Jackson's going to be at home. It's homecoming. And Dion is going to have these guys motivated to prove that not only are they SWAC, but they are bigger than SWAC, i.e. FBS, and he wants to send a message. This is the time that you let them know that we're for real and what we're about. Jackson State on top in this one, I'm going to say 35-21.
I have Jackson State winning. Don't know anything about Campbell. I had it 49-10.
49-10. Okay.
All right. Our next matchup, we have Bethune-Cookman at Mississippi Valley State. Mississippi Valley State just looks like a rebuilding year, and they are just struggling to score at all. So I have Bethune-Cookman coming in winning 14-7.
I'm probably going to hate myself for saying this, but this is really one of those pick 'em games, like shoot me, stab me, either way it's going to kill me. But it's homecoming for Mississippi Valley. And if they're going to win a game, I got to think it's this one. I'm going to say Valley wins this one by the score of 17-10.
17, what was that?
17-10, Mississippi Valley.
17-10, okay.
I'm going Valley. I think Jerry Rice is coming to town this weekend, and I have them 21-14.
Okay.
All right. Now we have Virginia Lynchburg at Southern. We have a matchup of the week. We'll pick them. over-under game? Which game is it?
He hadn't done the bing, 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 so I guess this is not it. So let us continue.
Okay.
Let's move on.
Okay. All right. So we got Virginia Lynchburg at Southern. Southern's hitting on all cylinders right now, and this should be another easy win for them. So I'm going to say Southern 28-10.
Southern's going to win this game. Southern's going to probably score 56 points, and I'm going to say 56-3 in favor of Southern.
I have it Southern also, and I said 45-10.
Okay.
All right. In our last matchup of the week 8, we have Prairie A&M Panthers at Lamar.
Hold on. Do it again, Ben. Do it again. I like that. Do it again, Ben.
It used to be like 3, 4, or 5 blings, but
yeah, that's okay. But I like the solid, that strong sound. I like that. There you go.
The way we've been playing, we haven't been blinging, so I can just give one bling, bling.
Oh, they gotta earn them bling blings, right? Okay, I got you.
It was a hollow bling at that.
Okay, okay. I like that though. Well,
what's your over under? What's your over under, Ben?
I have it at 35.
Okay.
35.
35.5.
35.
It's gonna have to be 35 and a half, sir. Remember, gotta add the halves.
All right, 30.5. 35.5.
Okay.
All right. So, I have the Panthers going on the road, winning 21-17, even with the suspensions.
21-17.
Mm-hmm.
That's your final answer. That's your final answer.
That's my final.
Okay. This is definitely a trap game. Lamar is 0-6. They've been struggling, but they're excited about this game. This is one of the biggest crowds they're anticipating for the entire season. Spoke with some people from Lamar, and when they found out that the band was coming, the crowd tickets flew off the chairs. And they're expecting, he said, this is going to be it for us. This is our biggest crowd of the year. But it's not going to matter. It's going to be a home, away from home, for Prairie View. They want to come into the land of red and white and infuse it with purple and gold everywhere. And I'm seeing the Panthers winning this one by the score of 35-14.
Wow. Yeah, a little more bling than me. Okay. I have Prairie View winning 21-14.
I think that Prairie View has to come out making a serious statement this game. And if they've ever pulled a wazoo out the hat, this is going to be the game for that. To just kill old demons moving forward and putting any naysayers to rest that this team is not as good as they should be or that we think they are. So I think they're going to explode this weekend.
Okay. Explode. All right. Question for you, sir. Dr. Brown.
Okay.
Mr. White, he expressed some suspensions going on. Do you have any updates as far as who, how long, who's suspended?
Well, they did not disclose the name of the players that were suspended, but it was 11 players from Southern, 10 players from Prairie View. And it's a one-game suspension, and they will take effect this weekend. In the case of Prairie View playing Lamar, Southern will be playing Virginia Lynchburg. I would love to get you guys' take on this. I've been very vocal about this throughout the week. Do you guys feel that this is a legitimate and fair suspension?
This is Benjamin. I don't necessarily think it's fair, and that, as I brought to your attention before, it took too long. I don't think it should be 2 weeks to make a decision, and it sure is awfully coincident that the suspension came after a big game against Southern playing Corn. Now, again, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, because we were going to play, let's say, not a conference team, but I don't think it should have taken 2 weeks to make a decision. On the Southern side, they had their numbers on, so it was easier to kind of represent or know who were involved. I personally, as I saw videos kind of around, I don't think I saw 10 people engaging on either side. I think I saw maybe about 4 or 5. So the number of suspensions is kind of frightening. And then as far as the financing is concerned, I didn't really understand where the money came into play, the $7,500 and the $10,000.
Well, that's just part of, when you get stuff like that, it's just fines, monetary fines that follow suit. Okay. As far as the bylaws are structured.
Okay.
Jack?
My take is I didn't have a problem with the time it took for the commissioner and so forth to come down with a decision. I know they had to review tape and go back and forth with the tape, identify everyone. So I didn't have a problem with the time. I do kind of follow your sentiments, Dr. Prince, on, okay, the 1-game suspension, but make the suspension during a conference game versus just any game. So that's the only problem I have with it.
Right. With this being the case, since both teams are falling on a non-conference, I wouldn't have had a problem with them missing this game and the next conference game. Now, is that over the top? Well, when you look at the tape, the fighting was over the top. In the case of Prairie View, they would have to take on Bethune-Cookman and Homecoming. That would stay and send a message to anybody in the distant future, about telling me, hey, I'm gonna club up. And guess who Southern plays? Jackson State. It would definitely send a message out then. So we'll see how all this goes out. Like I referred to earlier this week, women's basketball, Jackson State, Texas Southern, they got into a brawl. They were suspended for 2 games. And if these were regular students and had the melee that they had, people would have been expelled from the university. Now, these supposed to be your upper echelon. These are the ones representing your university when they travel across whatever school is across their chest. And for them to behave in that manner, I think it should have been a little bit more extreme. But I will not continue to harp on that. Any other notes? Oh, Ben, give us your top 10, if you could.
Well, before I get to that, if you don't mind, again, I'm pushing Southern to the side. I don't represent them. But I do think Dr. Ruth, until they find someone to replace her, Coach Bubble, and whoever they have, I forgot the gentleman's name that they had put in as the athletic director.
John Gardner.
Yes. I do think, as an alumni, that they need to do something at Prairie View. I can't say about other people's university because I don't represent them, but this is not the first time that something like this has happened at Prairie View. And I don't want this to become the norm. We've seen it twice in football. We've seen it once in basketball. So if that means that we have to bite the bullet, I think that there is some schools, they end up putting themselves on a penalty or suspension. So I think the president, the athletic director, the different coaches, they should also maybe put in a clause of, hey, this is what I'm going to do, because I don't want this to become the norm when people come to play Prairie, that they know that there might be a fight before or after the game. If you lose, you lose. But you just play the game. We can't win all of them, but it is about representing your university. I wanted to make sure that was said also.
Okay. Now, it's almost tomato. The fighting was the same, but in the football case, they were pre-games. In the basketball, they were post-games. And fighting is fighting. And some people had even gone far. It amazes me how people can summarize things. Well, it's because of the little ruckus is why we lost. Well, we still had a 13-10 lead at the half. So if the ruckus didn't cause the loss, we got lost because we got beat.
Correct.
We got outscored 35 points to none. Okay, so I don't want to hear those type of excuses. But as far as the integrity and the responsibility that comes with being a student athlete, okay, and those of, as I use air quotes, higher education and decorum, you should behave a little bit different than the rest of the people. So that's why I feel like that. Now, I don't think there's anything going to happen behind it, because if there were some further actions to be taken, we probably would have had the announcements by now. Well, who knows? They might wait till Monday to tell us, because all this just happened this week. And so we'll figure out what's what. I guess it's in the very near future, right?
Yeah, and then see, the last thing I would throw out there is I think that the commissioner ought to grow some, and he ought to make a hefty fine. In that if it was Prairie View or FAMU or Jackson State, if you go to another campus and you try to damage property or anything like that, I think that school ought to be, fined for a situation like that. Because again, you're going to someone else's campus to be a visitor. If I was to come to your house, I can't just come throwing the plates on the table and one get cracked. It just got cracked. So I think you need to act like you got some sense when you go to people's schools also.
Okay. Well, we'll find out if anything is to take place in the very near future. You got anything to add on this, Brother Jack?
No, I think we've summed it up quite nicely.
Okay. Now, if the air is clear, Ben, break us down with your top 10.
As far as the poll this week, we have Jackson State, North Carolina Central, Florida A&M Southern, Hampton, Delaware State, Alcorn, Prairie View, Alabama State, North Carolina A&T. That was the HBCU poll. I think the only thing that I would change is I probably would move Alcorn to like the number 5 spot, because even though they lost the game, they were very competitive. Truth be told, they probably should have won the game, but they were very competitive. So I probably would just put them above the Hampton and the Delaware. And as far as the other three, Prairie View, Alabama State, North Carolina, I think until they can prove some consistency, it's going to be hard to move somebody up that is winning the game, lose the game. They blow out somebody, then get blow out. So it's kind of hard to show any type of stability as far as moving them up or down.
Okay. With all that being said, a newsworthy note that we need to drop to the listeners, and by the time they hear this, it's probably going to be old news, but we want to be relevant anyway. University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff has relieved Doc Gamble of his duties as the head football coach. They're 0-5 in conference play, or 0-5 on season. Yeah, in conference play, I should say. And it's really been a struggle for them, and you hate to see anyone lose their job, and it had to be pretty bad. We knew that he was on the hot seat coming into the season, but they pulled the plug, and Doc Gamble is no longer the man in charge at University of Arkansas at Cotton Bluff.
Shocking news.
Yes.
Going back to that suspension again, I'm just curious. Do you think the coaches should have been suspended as far as the action between Jackson State and Alabama State?
Well, I wouldn't say suspended, but maybe fine.
Well, yeah, okay, fine, okay.
Yeah, maybe fine. Because it ultimately starts and stops with the head coaches. Okay. So, with that being said, gentlemen, we got our picks lined up. I thought there was going to be some degrees of separation, but I see some strategy moves being made. People trying to flip and flop to gain some ground. We'll see how it all settles out when we get together on next week. Any closing thoughts and comments from either of you guys who will wrap this segment up?
Oh, yes, I got some major comments. Breaking news also. Mr. White, could you inform the listeners of our fantasy football, who's winning and who's losing, please, sir?
Okay, in our fantasy football league, I think first off, Dr. Prince's team, Black Sheep, has gone on a
We got fleeced. Yeah, we didn't got fleeced.
Two-game losing streak.
Let Mr. Jack speak, please.
Well, yeah, Black Sheep started off 4-0, but the last couple of weeks he had their helmets handed to him. But I think they can possibly bounce back. But I think initially we thought Black Sheep was going to just run the table, but that's not the case so far.
Would you say they've gotten a black eye the last 2 weeks, Jay? Is that what you think?
I think this last game was a black eye. His first loss, I think, was came down to the wire.
Okay.
A loss is a loss. I got 2 L's in a row, so it is what it is.
In a row.
Right. And Team Edwards is making a surprise move, and they're 4-2 as well. And actually, we're tied. The Defiant Ones, myself, and Team Edwards are tied with 4-2, and a tie for second place in the Western Division. And Dr. Prince, Black Sheep, a.k.a. Black Sheep, is ranked 3rd in the East.
3rd? Wow.
Well, actually, tied for second base. Well, actually, a 3-way tie for first. I'm sorry.
I'll take the 3rd. It's okay.
You take the 3rd? Yes. Well, yes.
Yeah, I'll take the 3rd. I'm just positioning myself for a comeback.
Yeah, the glass half empty or half full. So,
Yeah, just get your
tie for first.
Get your piece of steak, sir, and put it over that eye, because that black eye looks pretty bad right now.
Well, you save your piece of bologna for the 8th week when you and I meet. That's what you do.
Yes, sir. I'm waiting for you.
All right.
Gonna be like,
Well,
like baby's homecoming. I'm waiting.
Well, we're not running. You'll know where to find us. Look, gentlemen, I would thank you guys so much for joining in with us. Don't forget, you can check out Panthers football action 4 p.m. right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. The pregame show will start at 3:30. All you have to do is dial 857-777-0000. Panthers, I'm projecting going in to create havoc in Beaumont, Texas. Gentlemen, thank you guys so much. Don't forget, you guys can follow me on Twitter at The Mike Prince Show and subscribe to the YouTube channel at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. And until the next time, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.